Let's be real. Most money advice wasn't made for you. It was made for men with pensions, women who married young, and people who stayed in one job forever. That's not your life. You're navigating career changes, cities, solo rent, weird health insurance, $17 salads, and maybe some financial anxiety. You're not saving for a white picket fence. You're trying to buy your freedom. Freedom to say no to a job you hate, to take a break without going broke, to spend on yourself without guilt. And to do that, you need a new playbook. So I made these are 11 modern money rules for women, rules that work for your lifestyle, your values, and your future. And if you want to apply them, I put together a free checklist to make it easy. Links in the description. So let's get into it. Rule number 1 is fun pay. Most of us get paid twice a month, once in the middle of the month and once at the end. And that end of the month paycheck usually disappears for rent, bills, grown-up stuff. But that middle of the month paycheck, that's my favorite. Why? That's what I call my fun pay. A 2023 survey found that 57% of women feel guilty spending money on themselves. How do I avoid feeling guilty? I use the end of the month paycheck to get my basics covered. I've already got a little savings buffer, some investments started, so I deserve to enjoy part of my paycheck guilt-free, and that's my mid-month paycheck. It's what I use to buy jeans, book a nice dinner, let myself enjoy the life that I'm working hard for. Rule number 2 is the $7 meal test. There's a rule I follow that's changed the way I approach cooking. In college, I thought I was saving money by meal prepping. But then, when you run the numbers, my budget quinoa bowl was costing me more than a burrito from a taco truck. So now I use a simple rule. If a meal costs more than $7 a plate to cook at home and it stresses me out, I eat out. You're not failing at adulthood because you don't make Pinterest-worthy meals every week. You're prioritizing your sanity and other stuff. Rule number 3 is my waiting rules for big buys. To protect me from trend shopping and figure out if I actually love something just because I saw it on someone else, I've created a strategy. If I see something I like that costs over $200, I wait at least 30 days to buy it. I add it to my wish list, save it on Amazon, and I relax. It'll still be there waiting for me in 30 days. Tattoos, I wait a year. Bags I really want, I wait 4 to 5 months. But impulse buys under $50, that's fine. Probably saved about $50,000 just because I practice having patience with shopping. Half the time, I realize it was just an impulse and I didn't actually want it. Rule number 4 is Ubers, walking, and public transportation. According to Credit Karma, Gen Z spends an average of $1,120 a year on rideshare services. And you guessed it, I follow a simple system to help keep that expense in check. We all know that modern women have packed schedules, and a lot of cities don't have great public transit. Unless you're in New York City or somewhere in Europe, odds are Ubers are usually faster. But here's my system. If I'm drunk or it's late at night, I Uber because safety is more important than savings. But if I'm running errands, I use my Lyft e-bike pass. It's about $20 a week and I skip traffic and I can still get everything done. If I need to stay polished and don't want to get sweaty on a bike, I'll bus, take a train, or I'll catch a ride. I figured out a system that saves me money without compromising my time or my safety. Rule number 5 is that it's okay to spend in certain areas. Some things are just worth the money. This might vary from person to person, but for me, here are my non-negotiables. I buy organic produce. I invest in my couch because comfort is queen. And I don't splurge on things like nice dishes or random home goods. There's a few other things I do this with, but if you figure out your worth it list, you won't be wasting money where it doesn't matter to you. Rule number 6 is being frugal versus being cheap. There's a difference between being thoughtful with your money and just being stingy. Money decisions are visible to everyone around you. Some build trust and some burn bridges. You don't need to flash wealth, but showing up empty-handed to every dinner you're invited to and Venmo requesting people when you paid for one drink, it's a vibe and it's not a good one. Rule number 7 is when to Venmo and when not to. Venmo etiquette is important. If you're getting coffee with a close friend, take turns paying for it. If it's the first time you're hanging out with someone or a first date, pay for yourself or split it. Boundaries are more important than perfect bookkeeping. Make those decisions as you will. Nobody wants to track who owes $3.75, but nobody wants to feel taken advantage of either. Rule number 8 is using Splitwise on trips. I've seen friendships implode over group trips. Someone always forgets to Venmo, someone books a suite, someone disappears when it's time to settle up. The fix is Splitwise. It's an app that everyone downloads before every trip, and every receipt gets logged. You settle it once, and you move on with your friendship intact. Rule number 9, don't invest in things you don't understand. If you can't explain what a company does in one sentence, you probably shouldn't be buying their stock. Hot tips from friends are not an investing strategy. Understand a stock or don't invest in it. Rule number 10, don't pay for layovers. Time is your most valuable resource. You're building a career. You barely have PTO. You don't need to spend 9 hours in the Denver airport to save $80. Book the direct flight, bring a snack, and arrive happy. Rule number 11 is to think of time as money. When I made $9.60 an hour, I'd ask myself, do I really want to work an hour for a slice of pizza and a can of soda? But now that I earn more, I still think about time, but now now in terms of opportunity? Could I be creating something, resting, building a connection? Time is money, but sometimes time is more than money, and learning to treat it that way is a big shift. There's no one size fits all formula for managing money, especially not for women navigating careers, cities, relationships, and independence all at once. You're allowed to spend, to pivot, to change your mind. What matters most is building a money system that works for you and not just following some outdated rulebook. If you want to actually apply these ideas to your own life, grab the Modern Woman Money Rules Checklist. It's totally free and designed to help you define your own rules, reflect on what matters, and track progress. Links in the description.